I was watching this video where these guys were talking about, Lex Friedman and Andrew Huberman were talking about saunas and cold plunges and stuff like that, and like the benefits of it. They're two scientists.
Yeah.
They're talking about the provable benefits, heat shock proteins, cold shock proteins. And then I'm reading the comments where some guy was like, yeah, well, you guys aren't talking about is how much it costs to buy a sauna. You're making it seem like it's all free. And like what are you supposed to do? Like every fucking thing? Like, I'm sorry if you're broke.
Oh, no, you have the conversation for people that can live that way.
Well, I mean, not just...
But it's just fun.
It's not... it's not impossible to achieve. We're not talking about buying a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that there's something wrong with talking about that stuff because other people can't afford it. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's actually part of why people are miserable is because it's a ridiculous conversation. It's not like the earth and the experience of like competing for food and oxygen and living on Earth, and living in society and just being a person. We've got to some altitude here where we're having some stupid conversations that are just, should I do a cold plunge or a sauna? Like, what the fuck is that? It's not you should be ashamed because people can't afford it. I feel sorry for the guy in that conversation. It's like it's a ridiculous trying to find just the right balance because there's nothing really challenging you. Because you don't have any real problems, and you're not on the earth. You're not standing on the earth anymore. You're in a bubble where you sort of like, maybe I'll try this, and maybe I'll just do protein now, and I'll do, you know what I mean? And you'll never find a balance because that's not a normal life. That's not organic living. That's not living like a human being. You don't have a choice because, I mean,
but you have
what are you going to do? Be poor on purpose?
But you have a physical body. And if you have a physical body, there's things that are beneficial to your physical body.
Sure.
And if you choose to do those things, you'll have a better body. It'll work better. And if you choose not to do those things because you think they're ridiculous, or do you think like, that's not organic living, that's not life, this is not life. It is life. It's life, and people have invented shoes. The reason why they invented shoes is because rocks will cut your feet. Yeah. So they figured out shoes. Shoes are better than no shoes, right? Getting in a sauna and getting in a cold plunge is better for the physical body than not doing it. Yeah. It's the same thing. Lifting weights is better than not lifting weights because then you develop a strong body and don't lose your bone density.
All true.
Like, all these things are a part of life. You could just decide they're not
organic.
They're
a part of life when you've removed yourself from the food chain and from real life. They become part of life.
If you're not getting eaten by tigers, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, but like we already figured that out. So like as we move to becoming a multiplanetary species,
that's what I'm
saying.
There's
a lot of things that you're going to figure out.
Well, and also our predator now is each other. So it's now we're not anymore about other animals. We're about killing each other.
And when you are about other animals, that's when you realize you've really fucked up. Like, we already sorted this out, and here I am getting eaten by a tiger.
Then you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot if you're a human being being eaten by a tiger.
If you're a guy from Connecticut, you're getting eaten by hyenas, you've made a giant mistake.
That's right. Yeah. But I don't know. I think part of it is just being an old guy that I think like you see certain signs that the game is over. Because people are starting to talk about such abstract forms of life. And I can see that none of it satisfies anybody.
Abstract forms of life? How so?
Abstract things like having your body at the right temperature and talking about different substances going in and out and ways to, and turning on the oxygen in certain rooms. To try to
enjoy it more. It's just to try to enjoy it more.
Yes, it is. But you won't ever get to what is fulfilling about life, I don't think.
That's not true.
Through that stuff.
That's not true. When you do those things, your body is more relaxed. It works better.
Sure.
And you feel better.
Sure.
It does with me. I
understand.
When I do cold plunges and I get out, it raises your dopamine 200%. And it lasts for multiple hours.
Yes.
You feel better. You really feel better.
I don't even know what I'm saying. I just feel a thing about this.
I know what you're saying.
I feel a thing about it.
But there's also a thing that people do.
The last thing I'm doing is putting it down from like, oh, look, you're so lucky you can have. That's not what I mean.
No. But you're kind of dismissing it as being, at the end of the day, it's all fucking bullshit anyway.
Kind of. It's just that
which is true.
I think that the most... I don't know. There's a form of life. It's a weird thing because you're not supposed to be happy. And you're not supposed to be safe. I think that's the problem is that people expect that. And it's not a good way to... You're not happy when you're safe. You're not happy when you're happy. When you're secure. You know, like people, I was really listening to something about the border, you know, these people just trying to come into America. And some people are like, well, if we let just a few in, it's a mess. Like there's no good answer, you know?
Right.
What if we just let the ones in who are really upset?
Yeah.
But we can't let them all in. Like when liberals try to say, it's like the dumbest position they get into. It's like, well, we can't let them in here. Got to keep them out. But we really like them, and it's great that they're brown, and sorry. But, you know, there's like an impossible, and then the right takes over, and they sound racist, and then the left takes over. They just sound stupid. But my feeling is they should open the border, and just let them pour in, let everybody pour in, and then the answer, which is, well, then there'll be all these problems. Yes, there should be. It shouldn't be so great here, is what I'm saying, in America. It shouldn't be. It's a weird thing to sequester a certain group of people and try to keep upping their lifespan and their lifestyle, and just keep trying to increase that for this group of people, and then this pressure of people trying to come in so they can enjoy it, and then it gets worse and worse down here. I mean, I'm not Canada. It's really just from down here. There's something wrong with that. That's not a system that's working, and it forces people to do cruel things to other people. There's a lot of people that die so Americans can be safe. They're just dying. You know, weddings that are drone bombed in Yemen because a guy said something that might have resulted in American insecurity. Not even like definite American deaths, but like just so we can breathe a little easier. Folks die. And folks do labor in unsafe places so that we can keep the prices where we like them. There's so much about American life that other people pay for. That's part of it. But also, it's not good for us either. It's not a good way to live in a gated community, you know? If you let folks pour in, like any other wave, it'll kind of slosh. And then things will be different. I don't know, like, what'll really happen? A bunch of people, like, will they just come with knives and start killing everybody? I don't think so. I don't know what'll happen, but it's just weird to me. I mean, I lived in Mexico when I was a kid. My dad's Mexican. And I remember my first cogent thoughts were in Mexico, and then I came to America.
But you lived in Mexico pre-cartels. It's a different world now.
Yeah, but it was Mexico in the 70s. It was a pretty gnarly, smelly place. But
I'm sure.
I mean, it was Mexico City. It was beautiful also. It was a city before America had anything. It's this very old European kind of place, you know, Mexico. It's a beautiful country, and it's got a lot more depth to it than anybody knows here. And we're not really sharing with them because they're kind of like the other guys, because we're afraid of how many of them are dying to come here to work for us for very little. You know, like this thing. I don't know.